Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Realistic Performance League for the Russian Grand Prix. I am Tim with my co-commentator Malc, ready to bring you action-packed racing. Malc, how are you doing today?
Hiya Tim, I'm doing very well mate, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We are here once again for the Russian Grand Prix at Sochi. And last time we were here, we had a fantastic race, a crazy finish with a driver by the name of Lewis actually wrecking on the final lap while leading the race and still being able to limp his car across the line to finish first. If that does not cut it close, I don't know what does.
You're right, so just before we started the stream, we was talking about it as well, and it was one of those mad races where Lewis was just completely dominated the race, and then all of a sudden, as you rightly said, last few corners, he completely lost the car, and we thought we was completely lost it, to be fair, but luckily he managed to cross over the line to win that race. And to be fair though, Tim, it was, are we going to have another scenario like that, or do you reckon there'll be a few shocks along the way?
I would very much welcome another scenario like that. However, I feel like most of the drivers would beg to differ, especially whoever ends up leading when it comes to the final lap. But, you know, that's the beauty about being the commentators, that we can sit here and we can actually enjoy the race, while the drivers only enjoy it if they do well.
Absolutely, and that's the main point of it all, to make sure that we get the best racing ever. And I reckon there'll be a few shocks along the way, to be fair, but it's going to be one of those Sochi, the Russia track. It's more absolutely tricky. It's because of the barriers. It's not as bad as Monaco, to be fair, but with Russia, it's got 18 corners, and the circuit length, if we've not known about it, it's 5.848 kilometers with 3.633 miles. We're going to have 27 laps, and we're going to have the soft, medium, hard, which is the C5, C4 and C3. The predicted pit stop that we are going to be experiencing is the one stop, so you can do the soft mediums, which is the preferable way. But if you do get a crash like what we have witnessed in a few occasions this week, especially in the F3 League last night, I will not be surprised if some people gamble to go on the hards. And to be fair though, in the F2, Tim, I don't know if you watched the F2, but the F2 where John Polion made a brave call, like going from the softs all the way for like the first 3 laps, and then went to the hards all the way to where the rain was going to kick in, and then the switch was absolutely perfect, and it was just immense driving from him. And to be fair though, I would love to see a bit of rain at Sochi. Do you agree?
I would too, but are you saying that if we don't get a rain, that the soft hards might actually be the preferred strategy around here?
If you get a crash within the first 3 laps, or if you make a mistake within the first 3 laps, then I will not be surprised if we go for the soft hards. But bear in mind that the hards are obviously lose a few, probably about 1.5 seconds of the delta. But overall, it's the preferable one is definitely the soft mediums, because you can go from softs all the way to lap 9, 10, and then the rest of it of 17 laps of the mediums itself. But it just all depends on how everyone can try and aim for their times itself. So I think we're about to kick off in about a few minutes time. But what's your thoughts of the track before we kick off of the Performance League?
Interestingly enough, I find Sochi is one of the more favorite tracks of mine to actually be able to drive around. I don't know why, it's just something about this track really suits my driving style, and it's so fun to drive. And the first sector, after you cross the start-finish line and you go into the pretty much wide open turn 1, and then you have to slow way down for turn 2, it's just such a high-speed track. It's so fun to drive around. A lot of people don't like it, but I guess I consider myself the minority in that aspect, because I really do love this track. But talking about point standings here for just a moment, Nightshades is still in the lead with 41 points, but with his podium last week in Australia. Harry B with B-Tech Racing has gotten very close to Nightshade's 37 points to Nightshade's 41. So even though it's very early to be talking about the championship standings, it does look like Nightshades and Harry B are going to have a close battle, and Boytech in third with Bump and Run Racing, which is Nightshade's teammate. He is actually tied for second with Harry B, both having 37 points. So very close battles early on.
Absolutely, it's going to be. It's starting off to become. What we're going to see is so much battles from those drivers throughout this season, and I hope we're going to see that more often throughout the rest of the season. But just to recap, guys, obviously this is the Performance League, live exclusive for you guys on the YouTube channel. But not only we are the live PlayStation platform Performance League, we also got the Xbox live exclusive for you guys right at the same time on the Twitch channel. It's called Invictus Racing Leagues. Check them out as well. So they're live exclusive for you guys. But also, not only that, guys, we also got other social media sites of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure you check them out for all the latest news. And also, the most important thing of all, guys, is check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest news, updates, and everything that's related to Invictus Racing League. But, it looks a little bit cloudy, to be fair.
It looks a lot cloudy there, Malc.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely mad cloud stuff. So, hopefully in a bit we'll find out of the weather crew. But from your perspective, Tim, obviously with the Performance League, and just a recap, sorry, before I mention anything, but the Performance League, guys, if you're new to this and you're not sure how it all works, the Performance League is based on the realistic performance cars. So basically the Mercedes is the top end car, the fastest car, compared to the Williams, which is the slowest car. And once every 2 weeks, the drivers get allocated to a particular car, not the same car each week. You could see that a few times, but it all depends on their pace and how they've done in the two races. The first, obviously, for every odd race, which is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, those are the guys that are going to do the qualifying, the short qualifying times. And if you do get a pole position, you get an extra 2 points if you get pole position. That is crucial in the qualifying scenario. And every even races, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, that is just the reverse grid, no qualifying, but just the reverse grid of the results of the odd race that was passed. So for next week at Japan, we're going to see the reverse grid of the results from tonight's race. So the drivers are all set, ready to go, and I'll let you carry on, Tim.
Currently looking at Ronan in the Mercedes. He was the first driver to decide to go out on track, but a couple of drivers in front of him actually beat him to the punch. It looks like that is the Williams. In front of him is that Harry B. Yes, it is Harry B, so riding on board with him now. Look at that beautiful red and black helmet, a beautiful view that we have here looking through the halo of Harry B. All of these drivers, of course, on their out lap. No one's starting their flying lap just yet. Harry B will be the first one to do that, as he's in the third sector now with just one more corner to go before he's able to cross that line, bypassing that pit entrance. We'll ride on board with him for the entire lap and see what kind of time he's able to lay down as he crosses the line now. And this is a very fast section, as we were talking about early on. Now it's just pretty much wide open through this first turn, going through that right-hander, using every bit of curve that he can possibly muster. And now going under the Pirelli banner, he's going to have to slow way down for this corner here. Turn 2, but hits the apexes almost perfectly. Looking like a good lap so far for Harry, but you got to remember, he's in the Williams, so this might not be the fastest time that maybe he's hoping for, because you got to remember, with the Realistic Performance League, these cars are not set up to equal performance. They are based on their real-life counterparts. So Mercedes is going to be the fastest car, and then the Williams is going to be the slowest car. And the league admins will allocate drivers to these cars appropriately based on their pace every 2 weeks.
Absolutely, and I just saw a bit of the lap from Harry, to be fair. He's just inbound at his lap, but obviously a good time around at the Sochi track is definitely the 29s. If you do push, you probably be 28s. We've just got Maggot, who's just retired from the session, so he must have made a massive mistake, as you can see from the yellow flags in Sector 1. But overall, I said roughly about 129s, Tim. Do you think we are going to hit the 29s, or do you think we're going to get an even slower time, probably about 130s or 131s?
I think it's very possible that we are going to hit the 129s, Malc, because as this qualifying session is going to go on, the track is going to rubber up a little bit, and these fast drivers are going to be able to set some times. Ronan is actually setting the first time, a 134, but then Roy Boy is able to jump him, and now Nitrogash goes into first with a 132.3 in the Red Bull. So we're already getting some times on the board. Nightshade, your points leader, going second quickest so far with a 132.7, but dropped down to third because Ginger Tiger in the Racing Point machine sitting a 132.001.
He really is going for it tonight, Ginger Tiger, to be fair, and he's been really impressive since he came on to the Invictus Racing League, gained some brilliant results lately from the back end of F4 into F3, and Moreno has just got a pole position title, 131.9. I'll take that, stand corrected. DXT Matty has done a 131.694. That's a really good time there from Matty. Brilliant time.
Yeah, Matty and Ginger Tiger actually teammates, not just car allocated teammates either. They are teammates for their team called Only Fools in Horsepower Racing. So luck of the draw that they were able to get the same car, so now they get to share a pit box. Probably a little bit better for communication, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just perfect match, shall we say, for the Racing Point car allocate for the team itself. But and a bit of an update actually from the drivers itself. Obviously, Huntari unfortunately cannot carry on with the Performance League, so Passmoir Dussel, who's just joined us, and he's in the McLaren, who's done a 132.6. So on his debut, to be fair, that's not a bad lap, to be fair.
No, especially when you take into consideration all the drivers that have set a time so far. So Passmoir Dussel really, showing that he has some pace here and that he can do well. So we're going to be looking at him, as you said, Malc. This is his debut race, so high hopes for him and perhaps some high expectations after seeing a decent lap in qualifying.
Absolutely, and you want to start off. You want to start off with the perfect start with the points itself, but obviously at the moment he's doing all right. But let's see if he can try and keep that consistency going as well. We're just having a quick look. So Night Chase is just coming out of the pits. We're just watching Saab, who's been had some great results lately, to be fair, and he's just got a 132.9. So obviously Saab's been really unlucky last season with the results from last season's Performance League, but he's shown that he's got that character, he's got that determination to try and get the results that he needs, Tim.
Yeah, Saab, of course, as you said, has put down some pretty decent times. No podium position yet for this season, but he scored 14 points in Mexico and 15 points respectively in Australia. So that puts him in 7th place, and he's teammates with Harry. And with Harry, they are actually second in the in the constructors standings, just a little bit behind Bump and Run Racing of Nightshades and Wojtek, 2 points behind to be exact. So Saab definitely showing that he has some pace here and showing that he can run well. You know that he wants some podiums, and he's probably gutted that he hasn't had them yet, but hey, they will come. You just have to be patient sometimes.
Absolutely, and I do believe the time will come for him to get the podiums. I'm sure he will sooner rather than later as well. We're just watching O'Stephen coming back into the Performance League. He missed out the first 2 races, so obviously he had a great result last night in the F4 League where he got 2nd place. He was unlucky not to win the race at Sochi last night, but with O'Stephen in 13th, and he was trying out with the mediums itself, he needs to try and push to try and get into the top 7, or to stand into. I know he's in the Red Bull car, so he should have that push, shouldn't he? Really?
Well, you would think so, Mal, because with him being in the Red Bull, that is arguably the second or third fastest car, however you want to look at it. So, Steven, he definitely does have the car underneath him. The question is does this track really agree with him? And also one thing to note is that he set that time on medium tires. He's actually just switched to the soft tires as we're talking about him. So look for him to be coming out here in another lap or so to complete a flying lap and maybe jump the board a little bit. But currently taking a look at Wojtek in the Renault riding on board with him. He's on his flying lap, but he's actually invalidated, I just noticed. So we're going to take a look at Harry B now. Second in the points, Harry B, podium last week in Australia. We'll ride on board with him. He invalidated his first lap here today, but so far, so good for this one. And looks like he's liking the car so far.
Absolutely. I think he's probably thought that he's got a little bit of, what was it, like a bit of performance on there. But obviously Harry is just one of the F1 drivers to watch out for, and he's showing that he's got a lot of determination. I always just had a little bit of a back end moment. He's probably just heard us and he's just probably under a lot of pressure on the stream itself, but he'll try and do everything he can. I'm sure he will. I know Harry will try and get that title of the Performance League itself. But he's just coming to the final few corners now at turn 18, 32.6, a 132.6 from Harry. So that's a good time, especially in the Williams car, Tim.
That is a very good time from Harry, 7th quickest so far. Currently going to take a look at Paul Racetech down there in the Alfa Romeo. Riding on board with him, looks like his lap is A-OK. Currently his best time, a 132.927. He's in 10th place at the moment. Of course, pole sitter is still DXT Matty with a 131.694 in that Racing Point machine. Just a little over 7.5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session with only 4 drivers yet to set a lap.
Absolutely, and obviously with Gareth, obviously Malc is the only one that's out of the qualifying tonight. But with Gareth, Tarak and Wojtek, those are the only current drivers who have not done a lap at all. But let's see what they can try and do in their scenarios. I'm just watching Pasmoir Dussel now. So Moreno's done a 131.295. That's a good time for him. That's a really good time. And Wojtek, as I was just saying, Wojtek must have heard us. Wojtek must have heard us, and he just really wants to get a good lap, and he does. A 131.503, Tim.
A very good lap from Wojtek. And take a look at Gareth Hall now in the Ferrari. No time on the board just yet. Right on board with him, though. Currently in 17th place, of course. So Gareth taking it very easy through this set of corners. But it's what you have to do, because Sochi, it's so easy to spin out here. And really with all tracks, if you use too much curve, then you can get some wheel spin. If you get wheel spin, you're going around. We saw it with Harry just a little bit ago, but he was able to correct that spin and save it, keep going. Probably lost a little bit of time, but it could have been so much worse for him. So Gareth just trying to take it easy and make sure that he can get the car back around. Just about to enter the 3rd sector now. Going underneath this little Fanatic bridge here. So we'll see if he is able to get a good time. Currently the time to beat a 131.2 set by Moreno just a lap ago. Just over 5.5 minutes remaining in this session. And Gareth is going into the pit, so not happy with that lap. We'll take a look at O'Steven, who is in the 3rd sector now. O'Steven, he set his lap on medium tires, but now he's on the soft, so we're going to be looking for him to improve. And it looked like he was purple in the 2nd sector, at least for a brief moment there. Not sure if that was a personal best or a session best. There has been a little bit of issue with that here in the past, but nonetheless, we're about to see how he does here. So rounding the final corner, O'Steven will cross the line. Where does he end up? He goes to 8th place in the Red Bull, a 132.492.
132.492 from O'Steven in the Red Bull car, so that's still a good time. He as you rightly said, there was that would have been his personal best overall, but overall he's done a magnificent job to get into the top 8 at the moment with 5 minutes left, guys. 5 minutes left. I've just been told by the weather crew, Tim, it's going to be a dry race tonight. So we was mentioning about the rain earlier on, before the stream actually. We was mentioning about the rain scenario for the F2 race, where John Polayan won it as well. So immense stuff. But we are going to get a dry race. So majority of the drivers have all gone for the softs, which I don't blame. Sab has retired from the session, so he will not improve his time. So 4 minutes 20 left of the qualifying. Just poor race tech. Let's see what he can try to do. He's in 9th place at the moment with 132.559. So he's coming up to the end of the second sector, and he's just he's not improving his lap. Ronan always got a little bit wide. I think he's not going to improve his time. Bando is in 16th place with 133.9, but he can validate his lap. So majority of the drivers have all gone out, so they've either been invalidated or they're not improving their times at all. So mad scenes. Turok is going to do his out lap at the moment. So at the moment, Moreno could be on for his. He's been. Like I say, we've watched him before, Tim. We've watched him many times, and he has been one of the outstanding drivers, Moreno. And especially in qualifying on the day. Let's see if he can try. Do you think he'll keep that consistency going and try and keep into the top 3 tonight?
I really do. I'm going to be keeping my eye on Moreno today. Even if he loses the pole position in the final few minutes of this session, I'm still going to keep my eye on him. He has been a very fast driver. He was a fast driver last season, and we're going to look to see what he can do this season. And, you know, it's looking good for him so far in this race, but anything can happen. We still have Turok on an out lap, about to start his flying lap, and we still have time for drivers to get out there for one more flying lap. So his pole position is not safe quite yet. However, I am curious to see if he decides to go for another lap or if he's just going to call it a quits. He has not signified that he's going on his out lap yet, but he does still have some time as Turok is now rounding the final corner to start his flying lap. So we'll see if he, in that Mercedes, is able to do any better.
We'll have to wait and see. So I'm just going to keep watching him now from 19th place, because himself and Gareth are the only ones left who have not gone a time at all during this qualifying. 2 minutes 13 left. He's invalidated his lap. Turok has invalidated his lap, so he'll have to try, either trying to save that ERS, or he might have to, like I said, he might have to try and save the ERS, or might try and start right at the back of the grid. That's the big question. So I'm just trying to have a look and see if there's any more. At TL4S, he's doing his out lap. He's doing a 132.6, but he's doing his, which would be his proper lap now. It's coming up to the end of the DRS straight. So let's see what he can try and do into that heavy braking ball, which is the most crucial corner of it all at turn 2, because there'll be lots of overtakes and there'll be a lot of try and get into the end and try and get ahead of your competitor as well. And we're just watching TL4 Rose come up to the end of the first sector now. He's improved his time by 400 of a second. 400 of a second. What, coming up to the 1 minute marker. 1 minute marker. Still watching TL4S. Let's see what he can try and do. He needs to produce one of the bestest laps he has ever done. Currently he's like 1.4 seconds off Moreno. So he's on the DRS straight now in that Haas car, in the car performance type car for tonight, and he's purple. He's 2/10 quicker, but again, it could be that might be his personal best itself, which is one of the cars that's just letting him through. Fair play to that. Let's have a look at TL4 for us now. Let's see what he can try and do coming to turns 17 and 18 now. So let's see what he can try and do. He's got, if he could try and improve, it might. Ooh, he does not improve. He does not improve his time. Tim.
And that is a shame. I noticed that the second to last corner, he actually locked up the right front. I'm almost wondering if that might have been the deciding factor as to whether or not he was going to improve his lap time. But the qualifying session is now officially over. The drivers who are on their lap now can complete the lap, but if they did not make it back around, then their qualifying is done. Going to take a look at Hulkenberger now in the Renault, right on board with him. He is currently in 5th with a 132.098. Definitely going to be looking to improve on that time. Currently the pole time by Moreno a 131.295, so we will not be breaking into the 129s like you asked me earlier, Malc. I kind of wish I could take back what I said and say, no, we're not going to get to the 129s just so I can be right, but can't do that now.
Damn it, that's what's going to happen. Paul Racetech has retired. Same with Matty, he is retired. Moreno, he did a 131.279, so he did improve by just a few hundreds. Roy Boy has retired. Roy Boy's retired. The only one that's close is, Harry. Harry's done a 131.7. 131.7. Nightshades has come up to the final few corners now. Let's see what he can try and do. He's come up to turn 17.
Oh, no.
Then it...
I'm sorry, Malc. Hulkenberger actually invalidated his lap in the final corner. Nightshade, you were watching, does go 7 quick stay, 131.998.
Yeah, absolutely. I do apologise to him because that was mad stuff. I thought Nightshade was going to improve, and past moi, Dussel has just moved up to night. Well, I take that back. He's dropped down to 10th because Gareth has moved up into, I believe, in the top 6. But we'll just get that confirmed, guys. We'll just get that confirmed for you guys. It was just at the last minute. Top 7, that is for Gareth.
Top 7 for Gareth. And here are the race classifications, the qualifying results for the Russian Grand Prix. Moreno in first, Wojtek in second, Nitrogash in third, Matty in fourth, Harry in fifth, sixth is Ginger Tiger, Gareth Hall in seventh, eighth is Nightshades, Hulkenberger in ninth, 10th is Passmois Dussel, the new guy in the Realistic Performance League, TL44S in 11th, 12th is O. Stephen Paul Racetech in 13th, 14th is Ronosaurus Sab in 15th, Turok in 16th, Roy Boy in 17th, 18th is Bando Blizz, and Maggot in the 19th position, who unfortunately did not get to set a time because he DNF'd out of the qualifying session.
It's a shame for Maggot, but hopefully, because he did win the F3 race last night, so let's see if he can try and emulate to try and get into, at best, hopefully at best, the podium, but it will be a mammoth task, to be fair, from the back of the grid, but they can prove us wrong. They can absolutely prove us wrong. But overall, guys, if you like what you've seen so far, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races itself. Not only we're live and exclusive for you guys on the Performance League on the PlayStation platform, we also got the Xbox line exclusive for you guys on the same format as what we're doing now, the Performance League. But it's on the Twitch channel on Invictus Racing Leagues. Check them out, guys, as always. Not only we're live today on the Thursday nights, we also got Monday nights for the F1 League on the PlayStation with Gareth and Sab, who are both racing tonight. They do a brilliant job, as always. You've got the F2 League with myself and nitrogash, giving you all the greatest coverage as well. And also you've got the Xbox League on the Tuesday nights for the F1 League at Twitch. Also, you've got the PC Leagues on the Wednesday nights, live and exclusive for you guys on the YouTube channel. Not only we're on YouTube, guys, and Twitch, we also got the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all the latest updates as well. But the most important thing of all, guys, and if you are enjoying the racing itself and you want to try and join, why don't you check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest updates and all the latest news and everything that's around Invictus itself. So we've been, as I said earlier on, we've been told by the weather crew it's going to be a dry race. Top 3, Tim. No pressure.
My top 3 is going to have to be in any order: Moreno, Wojtek, and Nightshades, with an honorable mention of Harry. He did not get the best time that maybe he wanted in qualifying, but I think that with the right strategy, he might be able to get up to the podium. But definitely Moreno, Nightshades, and Wojtek in any order. What about you, Malc?
Pressure. I think it's going to be a bit of a pressure moment. I reckon Moreno will do it. Harry has got that determination to get that pass into the top 3 again. The third person to get into the top 3, it's going to be tough. You know what? I'm going to go for Nightshades, just for the battle between himself and Harry for the top 3.
All right, well, that's Malc's picks. Now, to all the viewers watching, let's have some fun. Why don't you also choose your top 3 drivers who you think are going to be standing on this podium at the end of this race. You can just put it into the chat. We'll see if you are correct at the end of the race. As you see, the drivers starting their formation lap now. Moreno, Wojtek, Nitrogash, your top 3. Matty, Harry, your top 5. Ginger Tiger, Gareth, Nightshades, Hulkenberger, and Paswan Ducel, your top 10 with TL44S, O Steven, Paul Racetech, Ronan, Sab, Tarak, Roy Boy, Bando, and Maggot, rounding out the rest of the field.
Absolutely, and looking at the tyre wear, to be fair, Tim, it's you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 drivers: O Steven, Paul Racetech, Sab, Bando, and Maggot. They've all gone for the mediums. Ronan is the only one that's gambled on the hard tyres, so he's going to have to go all the way to the end and try and get the softs. Probably about 7 laps, 5 to 7 laps at the end. So probably about lap 20 to 22, we will see that, as long as he doesn't get any collisions as well. And also Tarak and Roy Boy are the only ones out, and TL44S, I do apologise. They're the only 3 drivers who are on the gambled on the softs itself. And I cannot believe, I think we're going to have a few shocks. I reckon there'll be a few 2 wides or 3 wide scenarios. Do you agree?
Probably so, especially entering turn 2, because that front straightaway, it just goes on for so long and you are just wide open. It's really not much of a straightaway because turn 1 is actually a fast right-hander, but it's kind of like a straightaway, I guess. It's sort of 2 straightaways in 1. But going back to what you were saying about Ronan there in 14th, starting on the hards, I really like that strategy. He's starting in 14th, so he did not have the best qualifying. At this point, he has nothing to lose. He might as well go for it and see if he can jump a few positions.
I do agree. I think he might have an opportunity as well, but unless we get the safety car, and it could happen at that situation. We're just waiting for the drivers to come in, and I think Maggot's coming up to the last turn 18 now. So Tim, I'll let you do the honours as always.
And an honor it is each and every week, Malc. The drivers just finding their appropriate positions on the grid, and you know they are anxious, and you know they are ready. They are just waiting, and ready to go. And there you hear those engines revving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. The drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League, Realistic Performance League in Russia. Already, look at Wojtek in the Renault getting a good start on the inside and bypassing for the lead. Moreno in the AlphaTauri. A big cluster in the back there, but so far no contact between anybody. But we are 3 wide for 3rd place. That was between Nitrogash and the 2 Racing Point machines. Take a look at that. What an amazing battle. Taking a look at Nitrogash now, and he is still chasing those Racing Point machines. Now chasing DXT Matty and Harry. So Williams, Racing Point, and Red Bull battling it out. Matty gets into Harry just a little bit, pushes him wide, but Harry still passes him for 3rd.
Oh my God, there's been contact at the back. There's been contact at the back between Tarak and Maggot. And there's another contact. Oh no! The 3 cars! Oh my days. Hulk, Gareth, we've got the safety car. We have got the safety car. I don't know if you caught that, Tim, but that was mad. That was mad. Yeah, that was mad stuff, to be fair. But unfortunately for Hulk and Gareth, they're out of the race. They're out of the race on lap 1 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. So that's a mad start, and yeah, I don't know what to say, Tim.
So how did Hulkenberger get involved in that, and what happened with Gareth? Did he just get collected? Because Hulkenberger qualified in, I believe, 5th place. So I'm very surprised to see that he was involved in contact at the back of the pack.
Yeah, I will get that confirmed. It was at turn 6. It looked like I think it might be Gareth. Correct me if I'm wrong, we'll have to look at it back after. But it looked like Gareth went wide, and he got caught out, and then he just went to the right because he lost his car at that point, and unfortunately the 2 cars were contacted during that scenario. So obviously, if I get it wrong, I do apologise, guys. But at that point, it was just so much quick during that scenario. I mean, I could be wrong. It was the way it looked as if Gareth went wide and he just lost his car. That's what I saw anyway, but obviously we'll look at that in more detail after the race as well. So we've got the safety car guys in lap 2. So yeah, so mad scenes at the Performance League tonight. Absolutely mad scenes. We got, I'm just trying to have a look at some of the battles. So obviously with with Wojtek still in first place, getting ahead of Moreno at the start. That was a great move from him, to be fair.
Yeah, it really was. He just kind of sent it onto the inside, and he had the pace and the speed to keep it up and actually pass and clear Moreno. And it might have been a good thing that he did, because there was a 3-wide situation just behind him between the 2 racing points in nitrogash. So that was probably a good deal that Wojtek was able to avoid that. But here is something for you, Malc. Harry B, after that safety car, pitted for hard tires. So now he can theoretically go to the end of the race if he's able to take care of those tires. Do you think that that's a good
call? Yes, I do think it's a good call, because as I said earlier on to you, Tim, if there's an incident within the first 3 laps, if you get caught in it, or if there's a safety car in the first 3 laps, then I wouldn't be surprised if people gamble to go on the hards, which I could see that Harry, as well as I think Paul Racetech. Let me just double check. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Paul Racetech and Maggot, they've all gone on the hard tyres. Where Pasmar, Dussel, and Saab and Tarak, they've all gambled on the medium tyres. So yeah, I do think it's a good call from Harry as well as Paul Racetech and Maggot to go on the hards and just hope that they can try and keep their pace in this race itself tonight. But would you have gambled to go on the hards at this stage, Tim, as I said, or would you have gone for the mediums as what some of the other drivers have done?
If I was going to pit, I would certainly go on the hard tires, but that's the thing, is I don't think I would have pitted at all. I just feel like it may have been too early to pit, but now that I see a few drivers actually taking that strategy and going on the hard tires, I'm starting to come around and think that maybe the likes of Harry, Paul Racetech, and Maggot actually made the right call there, because you know, theoretically, they can go to the end of this race. They're going to have to take care of their tires. Obviously, being under the safety car period right now is going to help them with that even further. So if they can just manage their tires and, you know, not get into any scuffles out on the track, they could very well be setting themselves up for a good finishing position.
I think that could be on for a good position as well, but obviously the soft tyres should pit in about lap 9 or 10 for the medium tyres. So obviously for the drivers that are on the medium tyres, like O'Stephen and Bando, who had into 9th and 10th respectively, those are the drivers that could go on a little bit longer, up to lap 17, 18, and then gamble on for the softs. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Well, for the hard tyres, it'll be fine because they can just go all the way to the end of the race. But it's going to be, for the medium tyres as well, it's going to be a little bit, I think they'll try and get on as long as possible with the strategy itself. But I think we've got the safety car to come in, I believe. Yeah, the safety car's coming in. So, Tim, let you carry on.
Wojtek, Moreno, DX Team Matty, your top 3. Just as a refresher, Nitrogash and Ginger Tiger in 5th with Nightshades, TL44S, Roy Boy, O'Stephen, and Bando, your top 10. Now, the driver that started on the hard tires, Roninosaurus, there in 11th place, so far has jumped about 3 spots on the grid. He started in 14th, now running in the 11th position. He, of course, can make it to the end of the race, but won't be able to on that set of tires because, as per the rules, he does have to choose a different set of tires on a pit stop. So he's probably going to go for the hard-soft strategies. We'll see how it works as we watch the other hard tire drivers, but so far it is Wojtek leading Moreno. All of these drivers still on their softs.
Yeah, be interesting stuff. I just the only 2 drivers, I'm just having a look. Sorry, the other 2 drivers that are looking at is TL44S and Bando, who have got the penalties itself. But Wojtek is going to be under a very, very lot of pressure on Moreno, who's trying to push the pressure itself onto Wojtek. But yeah, it's just, you just don't know what to say anymore after what happened. But hopefully we'll see a lot more 2 wide or 3 wide scenarios. We've got nitrogash battling out with Matty. Nitrogash is really eager to get past Matty. Let's see if he can try and produce the goods. Obviously, nitrogash, who did a brilliant race yesterday, moved up to 7th place in the F3 League last night, bringing the Ferrari team to get their first points of the season as well. So nitrogash really up for it this time. But I know we haven't mentioned about nitrogash as well, Tim, but he could be on for a good shout for a podium as well. Do you agree?
That he could. You know, nitrogash is one of those drivers to where he really just keeps it quiet during the race. He doesn't do a lot that's going to, you know, make you pay attention to him. But he's going to find himself in contention there at the end. And being in the Red Bull here today, that's going to give him a little bit of an edge over the drivers ahead of him. So you got Wojtek, Moreno, and Matty, you know, in the Renault, AlphaTauri, and Racing Point respectively. You know, all of those are slower cars than that Red Bull. Those drivers may have a little bit more pace than nitrogash, but that Red Bull underneath nitrogash is really going to pay dividends to him if he's able to keep it clean.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully from try and keep it consistent as well. So I'm just having a look at, yeah, I'm still looking at this battle between the top 2, between Wojtek and Moreno. These 2 drivers are really trying to push and pull away from Matty, who's in 3rd place, while nitrogash is still pressuring on Matty for 3rd place. Just having a look at some of the other battles as well. You've got TL44S, Roy Boy, and O'Steve, could have a 3-car battle for 7th, 8th and 9th respectively. So should be some epic battles coming up soon. So the DRS is not active just yet. It should be on for the next lap. So after the safety car, normally you get the DRS activation. So just try and see how it all goes as well. Let's have a look at, still watching it, O'Steve trying to close the gap onto Roy Boy. So is anyone that you're watching so far, Tim?
Actually watching the same battle that you are, Malc. O'Steven gets very loose there, hangs on to it though. Good job by O'Steven, losing a little bit of time there to Roy Boy, but that's okay because he still has a car to chase down Roy Boy. And I think that he might be able to catch him sooner rather than later, because every single time that we go into a corner, I'm seeing the Haas car of Roy Boy really lock up that right front. So that's telling me that Roy Boy's car is not really taking to his liking as well as maybe he feels like it should. So he's going to be using up the tires a little bit quicker than what maybe he needs to. So that is going to help O'Steven get closer to that Haas car and be able to pass him here sooner rather than later. And also, one thing to note, O'Steven is on the medium tires. So Roy Boy's going to have to pit before O'Steven anyway. So he's going to pass him. It's just a matter of when.
It's a matter of when, and it could be sooner rather than later, but just see how it goes. From O'Steven, but he'll need to try and push now. He'll try and push, but obviously with Roy Boy in 8th, with just about 1.4 seconds of the gap, but he'll keep that consistency going. I know O'Steven, he'll try and push, but you have to be careful of Bando, who's got the obviously with the time penalty, but he'll be right close to O'Steven as well. But Wojtek, who lost first place to Moreno got ahead, and again, these 2 drivers are really going for some epic battles in tonight at the Sochi Grand Prix for round 3 of the Performance League, guys, for the PlayStation platform. So here we go, Matty's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he'll be absolutely fuming at that. So Wojtek with the DRS should make the move, and he does make the move into first. So good move there from Wojtek.
They're just trading positions at this point now. Moreno used the DRS to get around Wojtek, and then Wojtek does the same trick on Moreno, and now it looks like Wojtek is pulling away from Moreno actually. So that just goes to show that Renault is very quick, but hey, you know, Moreno in the AlphaTauri is quick as well. So these drivers basically just lock to one another. The front wing locked to the back of that Renault, and Moreno just trying to do everything that he can to get to him. But this is not really a passing zone. He's going to have to wait for DRS and just keep Wojtek within his sights. and that's going to be a little bit difficult because it does seem like Wojtek is just a little bit faster. He led the almost the entire race up until this point, until Moreno passed him, and then he was able to get back by Moreno. So it's really just a guessing game as far as who's going to be able to get in front of who, because both of these drivers seem to have about equal pace and close to equal cars. So this is really shaping up to be a good battle.
Yeah, it should be up for a really good battle, but while you was watching the top two, I was trying to see if there's any other battles going on. It looks like Roy Boy and TL4S are battling out in the same performance type car of the Haas team, and about 5/10.
Ronan actually sent it on the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Paul Racetech and trying to go around. He gets loose, gets very loose, hangs onto it, a big bobble, and now we have a 4-car battle between Paul Racetech, Ronan, and then his car allocated teammate up to Rock, and the McLaren of Maggot. Take a look at this. This is crazy. This is for 13th position on the racetrack, but it might as well be first as far as these drivers are concerned. You got Paul Racetech up there finally starting to pull away, but Ronan and Tarak, both of these drivers, of course, in the Mercedes here today, are really battling it out. So equal cars there for sure. And then the McLaren of Maggot just kind of hanging out back, just saying, you know what, guys, I'm going to let you battle it out, and then I'll pick up the pieces. Tarak was thinking about going on the outside of Ronan, but not able to do it. Ronan actually overshoots the corner and goes way too wide, so that's going to allow Tarak to finally get by him, but Ronan's not going to give up, not even in the slightest. There goes Tarak pulling away now, getting close to Paul Racetech, and Ronan looks like he's just about to cut a corner there. He already has time penalties. He does not want to pick up any more. It's just going to hurt his finishing position at the end of the day. So Paul Racetech now starting to drop back closer to Tarak, as Ronan is just really keeping on the gearbox of his car allocated teammate.
Absolutely, and that was a really good battle from 12th to 15th place, and Maggot's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now, so hopefully he'll try and catch up to these guys. So these guys should have the DRS, and I'm just waiting for Tarak. There's been contact. There's been a slight contact between Tarak and oh my god, there's been wing, there's been debris, front wing damage on the left hand side of Tarak, so he'll be really struggling on the straight line speed. So now Maggot moves up to 14th place. Tarak has just got into the pits, same with Matty, who's just got into the pits for the medium tyres. Tim.
Still watching it on board with Maggot now, and that was very close. I saw Tarak try to make that move on Paul Racetech. There was no way that it was going to work, and look at that. Ronan going all the way to the wall, and he lets Maggot by. Maggot can now set his sights on the Alfa Romeo of Paul Racetech.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Tarak has just got retired in the pits, so he's retired in the pits, so he won't carry on during the race tonight. So we've Tarak, who's just joined the DNF with Hulk and Gareth during this race tonight. I'm just watching this Pasmoir Dussel battle. Oh, he's overshot it. I thought he was overshot it, but he's all right now. So hopefully he'll try and close the gap onto O'Stephen now with the.
I think we lost Malc there for just a moment, but Pasmoir Dussel still trying to chase down O'Stephen, using the slipstream to get as close to him as possible. He's going to use the DRS, tried to make the move on the outside, not able to do anything with it. O'Stephen threw a block on him, so Pasmoir Dussel is going to have to try to regroup and pass him once again. There's going to be another DRS zone coming up once we get out of the final corner. We're only in Sector 3, though. A little bit of a wiggle there from Pasmoir Dussel. That's going to lose some time to O'Stephen. O'Stephen, though, has his sights set ahead to Roy Boy in the Haas. This is the battle for 6th place on track at the moment between Roy Boy, Pasmoir Dussel, and O'Stephen. O'Stephen, of course, starting on the medium tires. All of these drivers starting on the medium tires, so able to go a little bit longer than the ones who started on the softs, who are now starting their pit stop. So you're going to see the positions jump around all day and all night, all race. O'Stephen is so close to being passed by Pasmoir Dussel. Pasmoir Dussel trying to send it into the corner, but not able to do much with it. So Pasmoir Dussel, we're right on board with him. He keeps looking. He's looking for the opportunity. He goes underneath him, but not able to do anything with it. So for his debut race, I think that Pasmoir Dussel is doing a fantastic job. He qualified around 6th, 7th, or 8th position. In fact, we can actually take a look at that as we'll look at the position change. He has gained 4 positions in this race, so that would mean that he qualified in 10th. A top 10 in your first race, that is not bad. And now he's trying to break into the top 5 with a veteran of O'Steven, of course, the veteran of a Realistic Performance League here, and the veteran of Invictus Racing League in general. A lot of these drivers here are veterans with a few new names. So Passmoi Ducel using the DRS again that time, but still can't do anything with it. He gets so very close. O'Steven actually slides a little bit there. He slides just a little bit, but Passmoi Ducel not able to make a move on him. And really, it looks like Passmoi is a little bit faster than that Red Bull. He just cannot find a place to make a move, and that is allowing what looks to be the Alfa Romeo of Bando and the Williams of Harry to close in on these drivers. And look at Bando really getting close to Passmoi Ducel, using the slipstream and the DRS. Both of these drivers have it, and there's contact, a little bit of contact there. Bando's actually pushing Passmoi through that corner. Now looking on the inside, they're side by side. Alfa Romeo versus McLaren. Side by side still. Passmoi Ducel on the outside. Bando on the inside, and then Bando outbreaks Passmoi and is able to go into what is now the 2nd position. O'Steven leads after pit stops. What a fantastic move from Bando. He just set his sights forward and kept going for it. So good job there to the Alfa Romeo driver. Now let's see if he can catch O'Steven up there. Pit stops are shaking up the standing order. Moreno, who was at one time your 2nd place runner, all the way down into 7th, but it looks like he is starting to make a move on Paul Racetech. We'll take a look at this here right on board with Moreno. He's looking on the outside of Paul Racetech, and Paul is actually giving him enough room. He's giving him plenty of room there. And he does the crossover. Moreno is going by Paul Racetech side by side, but not for long. As Nightshade picks up a 3-second time penalty, Moreno will move into the 6th place position. Just behind him, it looks like things are starting to heat up. Wojtek, who was the leader, apparently got jumped by Moreno in the pit stops and has to lock up and send it into that corner to avoid Paul Racetech. Just behind him, the battle between Ronan and DXT Matty. Both of these drivers having a big battle here. So we'll take a look at Matty as Ronan's able to get by him, but now Matty sends it on the outside. They're side by side still in Sector 3. But Ronan has to dip behind Matty. So as Ronan dips behind Matty, Matty pulls away. He still has his sights set ahead on Wojtek, who does not care who's behind him. He just cares about getting by this Alfa Romeo, and I think he's going to be able to do it this time. He goes around the outside using the DRS. As look at that, Maggot actually trying to make a move on Moreno just ahead of him. Not able to do it, though. Wojtek doesn't net. Look at that. Moreno spins, and he's out of the race. He just spun on his own and into the wall. Oh, my goodness. So that is a shame for Moreno, the driver who could have very well won this race, and we are now under a virtual safety car. So for whatever reason, it seems like we cannot get Malc back into this commentary booth. I will actually see if there's anything that we can do as we watch Wojtek, who is now no longer under virtual safety car conditions. But look at that, Bando actually did pick up a time penalty. So Moreno bottled it. Unfortunate for him. That put us under a virtual safety car, but now we are back, but not before Bando picked up a time penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. So unfortunate for him as Passmoi Ducel in his debut race, running in 3rd now, about to pass Bando, or at least trying to, but he has a very hungry Harry B breathing down his neck. And I got news for you if you are just joining this race, is Harry B can go the rest of the way. He pitted on lap 1. Yes, lap 1 we had a safety car, and he pitted for those hard tires, so he can now go the rest of the way on those tires. So all he has to do is hang out and play it safe, and he should be good. And he might just very well be able to inherit the lead here in just a moment. So the best thing for Harry to do is to not force it. Do not use up your tires. Just ride there and wait for the 1st place position to come to you, because O'Steven still has to pit, Passmois still has to pit, Harry is good, Maggot behind him is probably good. So those drivers just need to relax, and I think that's exactly what Harry is doing as we now have Malc back in the commentary booth.
Yeah, I do apologise. There's some technical issues as well. Just roll my days. Wojtek has made the move onto Maggot. That was a great move there from Wojtek. Mad scenes, to be fair. That was a great move. It looks like Matt is trying to close in on Paul Racetech for 6th place. But yeah, sorry about that, Tim.
No, you're all good, Malc. It happens sometimes. Ronan, another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Ronan just seems to not be having a race that he wants to have. Let's take a look at the time penalties here. Ronan already has 12 seconds worth of time penalties, while Paul Racetech has 0. Maggot and Maddie both have 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Nightshade's 3 seconds, and Bando 5 seconds for speeding under the virtual safety car.
Absolutely, and I was just looking at the penalties itself. Obviously, Ronan has got 12 seconds worth of penalties. 12 seconds worth of penalties. Obviously, Maggot, Matty, and Nightshade's have got 3 seconds worth of penalties, and Bando is one with 5 seconds worth of penalties itself. And just absolutely mad scenes at the Russian Grand Prix. So, just watching. Looks like Nightshade's trying to close in on Sab for 10th place. Got the DRS. Will he try and make the move? Nightshade's is having a glance at Sab. Sab's trying to defend for all his might in the Ferrari car. Mag has got another 3-second time penalty. Nightshade's is trying to make the move on the inside. Oh, what a move! Brilliant move there from Nightshade's. A bit of a lock-up. It looks like Sab was just too much on the right side, drifted, but great going through the inside for Nightshades, and what a move there from Nightshade's.
Nightshade's not going to be denied here. Of course, that is our points leader, trying to score as many points as possible. If you're not familiar with the points format here in the Invictus Racing League's Performance League, here is just a quick little update. If you DNF out of the race, obviously you are not going to score any points, but if you finish, no matter what your finishing position is, you will score points. So, Nightshade's finishing in 10th, he's going to score points, but if, say, Ronan finishes in 15th, he will still score points as long as he finishes the race. If you DNF or retire, then you will not get points, but if you finish, you will get points. So, it's not like Nightshades has to be in the top 10 to score points. He just gets a few extra points if he is.
Absolutely, and this is what I love about the Performance League, because as long as you finish the race, as long as you finish the race, wherever position that you're at, you're guaranteed to get some points. Yellow flag set to 3. That is, that might be Bando. Oh, Bando's going into the pits. I need to say Bando bits with the pits itself. So Saab, who's lost out to Nightshades earlier on in that last lap, still trying to catch up to him. Saab, who does part of the commentary crew with Gareth for the F1 League on the Monday nights on the PlayStation platform. Every night at 8 PM. Also, we got the Tuesday nights with myself and nitrogash, who's also racing tonight in 9th place. We do the F2 League, and also we've got the PC League live exclusive for you guys on the YouTube channel, as well as myself and Tim for the Performance League live exclusive on the Thursday nights for the PlayStations, as well as check out the Xbox Performance League as well at the Twitch channels as well. And yeah, that's it's just like I said, brilliant coverage, brilliant racing at Invictus Racing League. You don't want to miss out. You really don't want to miss out at all. And it looks like Paul Racetech is going to have a go at Ginger Tiger now for 7th place. Who looks like he was on for a good qualifying, but in this race itself, I'm just trying to look at the positions. He's dropped down 1 position, so he did a great qualifying in 6th. He's just dropped down 1 place, but overall he'll be under a lot of pressure from Paul Racetech and nitrogash down the DRS straight, Tim.
And Maddie just made a move on Maggot for 5th place. Of course, Maddie being Ginger Tiger's car allocated teammate and constructor's teammate for Only Fools and Horsepower Racing. So getting the luck of the draw and sharing a pit box with your teammate. Looks like Passmois Ducel has finally made the move on O'Steven for 1st as well. So O'Steven dropping back to 2nd, but he is battling back hard with Passmois Ducel. Both of these drivers starting on the medium tire, so they're not having to pit quite yet, but those pit stops are going to be coming up soon rather than later. Lap 16 of 27 is not long now until they're going to have to start thinking about it, as we're actually starting to get a little bit of an overcast here and getting a little bit foggy. The weather crew said that it was going to be a dry race, so I don't believe that rain is going to be a factor, but definitely a little bit cloudier than when we started.
Absolutely. Obviously, with what we've been told by the weather crew, it's definitely a dry race, but yeah, as you rightly said, the clouds doesn't look too great at the moment, but then again, it's going to help a little bit on the tyre track, on the track itself, to help the tyres to try and not get warm up too quickly. Oh, I thought Steve was going to carry on for another lap, but he was saying, look, I'm not going to go another lap, I'm going to go in and try and get my pit stop in, which is what the predicted pit stop for lap 17-18 for the mediums. So, but Harry, as we said earlier on, he started off on I believe it was in the softs, but then he went earlier on since the safety car for the hard tyres. So, and I did say that was a good position at the moment. This has been an absolute great position for him to get a podium tonight.
Yeah, great position indeed. And you know, another driver who I want to say is in a pretty good position at the moment, I mentioned this while you were away, Malc, Pasmois Ducel. He is leading this race. This is his very first race with the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League. You know, of course, as we mentioned, he has stepped into this drive full time, and he does still have to pit. But I just want to say, I think that he's done a fantastic job so far to actually find his way into the lead and be able to lead a lap or two. So congratulations to him. And another driver that I really want to give props to is Harry, for having the foresight to pit on lap 1 during that safety car to go onto those hard tires, because once Pasmois Ducel pits, he will be leading this race, and he'll be leading at 1.4 seconds over Wojtek, who looked to be very dominant early on, but had a little bit of issues navigating traffic after the pit stops. So Wojtek, of course, doing a very good job here, and he's starting to catch Harry, so it might not be a win for Harry today, but it could still be a podium. Wojtek is just so fast today, though.
Absolutely, and I do agree with you. Pasmois Ducel, he's done a magnificent job at the moment. Obviously, he will have to, well, he'll do everything he can to try and hold on to first place. But with the medium tyres, you can do the soft mediums if you like as much as possible. But the tyre wear is not going to be great. But let's see if he can try and keep off the pressure of Harry, who's done a safe job of going into the hards earlier on. But with Wojtek to close the gap, I will not be surprised in the next few laps or so we might see a 3-car battle coming up soon.
I think you're just about right about that, Malc, but so far I'm actually looking at a battle in the back-to-back between Paul Racetech and Sab. Both of these drivers have pitted for the soft tires, so they can go to the end of this race. And Sab in 13th, Paul Racetech in 14th. But now we're going to take a look at Wojtek, because this battle is starting to calm down, while Wojtek's battle is just now heating up. For a brief moment, he was within DRS range of Harry B, so we'll ride on board with him and see where maybe he could have lost some time, because he was 9/10 of a second. Now he's 1.2 seconds behind Harry, and I'm almost wondering if Harry is on the radio with his race engineer getting the information of just how close the car behind him is, and he's decided to kick it into high gear. If he has saved his tires up to this point, then he might still have a little bit of life left in him to set off some decent lap times, even though Wojtek is on newer mediums and theoretically will have a faster car than Harry. If Harry can just hold him off for a few more laps, then those mediums are going to start to wear away. And of course, Harry, with him being 16 laps on those hard tires, you know that they've got to be a monster to drive. But that just goes to show why it's so important to conserve your tires.
Absolutely, and with Wojtek on, obviously with the better medium tyres, should we say, with the scenario trying to close in onto Harry for second, and he is getting closer and closer, as you rightly said. So I would not be surprised if Wojtek can try and not only get second place, but to challenge for first place against Pasmois Ducel. And I've been really impressed with these three drivers tonight. I've been really impressed with the driving itself. Saab has got the fastest lap of the race with 1:35.255, so that's a good time from him. and it looks like Wojtek is now getting close onto Harry, coming up to the second DRS. Ronan has got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he's got 18 seconds with a penalty, so he's got to be very careful not to lose out massively. And here we go, can Wojtek now try and close the gap onto Harry, who's trying to use as much as possible with that ERS. Roy Boy's got a 3-second time penalty. Nitrogash has moved ahead of Ginger Tiger for 6th place. So he's, to be fair though, it's been a really good race. Don't get me wrong, it's been a really good race. Just so lucky for the drivers of Gareth, Hulk, Tarok and Moreno as well, who are all out of the race during the Performance League. I hope they'll bounce back next week in the reverse grid at Japan. Ginger Tiger, sorry, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
And Wojtek,
so he's got
Wojtek going around Harry. Sorry, Malc, but he went around him and was able to clear him. And Harry did everything he could to keep that Renault behind him. He dove down to the inside trying to break up the slipstream, but he's not done yet. He's trying to go on the outside now. Not able to do anything with it. Wojtek still hanging on to second. Will Harry be able to make a pass here in just a moment? No, he's not even close enough now. And Wojtek is riding off into the sunset. Harry is going to have to find some speed somewhere.
You have to find some speed, but don't write him off just yet. Do not write him off just yet, because if Wojtek can get a penalty, everything can be played for. If Wojtek just gone a little bit wide, so if Harry can get within the DRS range, this could be an opportunity for him to get close to Wojtek. With Matty also getting close to chase the Wojtek and Harry battle for second place. Can Harry try and close the gap? It was 5/10, it's still 5/10. I think he'll need to try and keep within that DRS range. That's what he needs. Harry needs to keep that. But while this is going on, past Marducel, now it's under 2 seconds. Now it's under 2 seconds. Bandabits has got 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So this is going to get really interesting within the next few laps, because now Wojtek is getting closer now to Pascal Dussel for first place.
And one thing to note about Pascal Dussel is I actually got something wrong earlier on in the stream. I was saying that he started on those medium tires, but I don't think that's the case. I actually believe that he started on the soft tires and then pitted for mediums after the first safety car. So Pascal Dussel, if he could hang on, theoretically could go to the end of the race on those mediums, but I don't think there's going to be enough life left in him. I mean, per regulations, he should be fine to go to the end, but per tire life, I don't think he's got enough in it. He's already got 18 laps on those medium tires, and yet somehow he is able to keep a healthy distance between him and Wojtek. So I'm almost wondering if he's just going to try to gamble and go for it, but you got to be very careful because you have to worry about a tire blowout at that point.
Yeah, you do have to be worried out about the tyre blowout, but don't, again, that's what Pascal Dussel tries to keep that tyres. I'm sure he'll try and keep it, his tyre wear as low as possible. But at this moment in time, Wojtek will have to try and produce some great laps. I think in the next few laps, if Wojtek can try and produce some good laps now, we could have a tasty finale, shall we say? Because now, look, Harry's getting pressured off by Matty. Maga's made a mistake, so he's dropped down to 8th place. He's already done 18 laps of the hard tyres, so unfortunately for Maga, he'll try and push on. He'll try and push on massively. Let's have a look at Matty. Matty's going to try and make the move on the inside. Too wide! Oh, bit of contact between Harry and Matty for 3rd and 4th place. A little bit of contact between the two drivers, but let's see if Matty... fair, respectful driving from these two drivers. Fair play from Harry, to be fair, because... so I think he knew that it was a little bit of a mistake and he was just going a little bit wide and he was just letting through. And because they were waiting, now it's brought nitrogash into a battle for 3rd place. And as things stand, Matty and Harry have got 3 seconds of time penalties. Nitrogash hasn't got any at the moment, and he's got DRS in the Red Bull car. So here we go. Harry with that back end, he's trying to hold on for 4th place. Nitrogash got 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. Nitrogash, will Nitrogash try and make the move on the inside? Harry will have to keep on the outside. Too wide. Oh, brilliant move there from Nitrogash. Now it's 1 down, 1 to go for 3rd place, Tim.
And nitrogash, a man on a mission here. He knows that he can get a podium, and he probably knows that he can do it just because of the time penalties that Matty and Harry had. But he wants to get it on his own, by his own right, and he's doing a fantastic job at doing that so far. Nitrogash, we were saying earlier on in the stream now that he is quiet during the race. He does not do a lot to draw attention to himself, but he's always there at the end in contention for a podium, and it is no different here today in Russia as Matty is trying desperately to break that slipstream and hold off Nitrogash, but Nitrogash just has his eyes set forward. It's like Matty is a fish on the hook and he's reeling him in. It's just lap after lap. Nitrogash gets a little bit closer, but the same can be said between Wojtek and Pasmois Ducel because that battle is heating up as well. So we're going to take a look at them as well. Look at Wojtek, look at Pasmois Ducel, so very close. Pasmois Ducel can do nothing but hang on. Wojtek has everything to gain here today.
Yeah, last week he was really eager during the interviews last week. He's saying, I really want to try and get a good podium again, and I think he is on for a perfect moment to get another podium tonight. Ronan's got a 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings, so I think the pressure will be on the debutant of Pasmois Ducel. Can he try and hold on against the high-flying Wojtek in the Renault car? That's the big question of it all, guys. If you like what you see so far, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel, and also like this video. We're trying to aim, hopefully we'll try and aim for at least 10 likes. That'll be a fantastic achievement, guys. Please do that. Here we go. Can Wojtek try and close the gap? He's got the DRS now. He should got plenty of ERS, and now chance now. Can Pasmois Ducel try and defend? He'll have to keep on the racing line. Wojtek is just sweep past Pasmois Ducel with that DRS. So now Wojtek is now your new leader of the Russian Grand Prix.
And Pasmois Ducel, he held on to it as long as he could, and it's still not over. He is within DRS range, but it's such a significant difference as far as the tire wear that he just does not have the pace to keep up with Wojtek. Every single corner we see Wojtek pulling away, so it was only a matter of time. If this was a 24-lap race, Pasmois Ducel would have won, but it's a 27-lap race, so Wojtek might just be able to win. But as you said, Malc, if Wojtek gets a penalty, that changes everything. So Pasmois Ducel is going to have to stay close to Wojtek just in case he can jump him at the end because of time penalties. And speaking of time penalties, with Matty having a time penalty, Nitrogash really doesn't have to battle with him too much to get that podium as long as he himself stays away from any time penalties. All he's got to do is keep it within 3 seconds, and he should be golden for this final podium position.
Absolutely. I'm just clarifying of the scenario. Wojtek has got a warning. I'm just trying to check. He's only got, as far as I can see, he's only had the one warning so far. So Wojtek, as long as he doesn't make any silly mistakes now, might have a chance, will definitely have a chance to win the Russian Grand Prix. But with Nitrogash really eager, as long as he's within 3 seconds and not get a penalty, he will be alright to get into 3rd place. But with Matty trying to pull away, yellow flags up to 1. Yellow flags up to 1. I believe that is all Bando bits. Bando has spun after turn 3. So he's, well, he'll have to try and let some of the cars through. So Bando, unfortunately for Bando, he has been disqualified for going in the wrong way as well. So unlucky for Bando, really unlucky for Bando. Bando, one of the other 5 drivers who are out of the race, with Moreno, Tarak, Hulk, Gareth and Bando. They've all had either DNF or DSQ during this race now. So we're on lap 25 of 27 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. Mad seas. Nitrogash just getting close to Matty now, so How do you think this battle between Matty and nitrogash can nitrogash do and hold on? I know at the moment he can, but in F1, anything can happen.
Honestly, with nitrogash, all he's got to do is keep it within the track limits, and he's got a podium. I would not push it if I was him, because you don't want to risk losing a podium because of a silly mistake. But two drivers who have time penalties and are still battling it out is the two Haas cars of Roy Boy and TL4 I've been watching this battle for about a lap now, and you've got TL4 now making a move on Roy Boy. They're side by side, and TL4 moves up into the 9th position because of DRS. Roy Boy not able to do anything with it, and now TL4 pulling away from his car allocated teammate of Roy Boy as we rejoin the battle between nitrogash and Matty. 0.6 of a second separating these two drivers. The Red Bull of nitrogash, the Racing Point of Matty, and nitrogash knows that all he has to do is keep it within his sights, and he's got a podium. And I keep saying it every single time. If you're listening, nitrogash, just play it safe. Now, Matty, if you're listening, you might want to pick up the pace just a little bit, because he needs to get, I believe, within 3 seconds ahead of him. Looking at the time penalties now, he does in fact need 3-second gap between him and nitrogash to keep that podium spot.
Absolutely, but I will warn you for nitrogash fans, because nitrogash has got one more warning, and that's it. If he gets this warning, then this will be under a lot of pressure for him to get 3rd place. This is why he had the first warning at the first lap, and then he's had the second one at lap 20. So he's got to have to produce something to try and keep. If he makes a mistake now, he'll have to try and do it on track to get ahead of Matty. But as things stand, nitrogash would be in with the podium crew, as well as Wojtek and Pasmoir Dussel as well. So TL4 and Roy Boy having a good battle. Sab and Maggot are also having a good battle as well for 11th and 12th respectively. So we'll just have a quick look at that Sab Maggot battle. Let's see if Maggot can try and close the gap. He might have, yeah, he does. He's just overtook Sab on the DRS straight, so he's moved himself up to 11th place. Tim.
Yeah, lap 27 here, final lap for Wojtek, final lap for nitrogash. He's going to have to hang on for just a little bit here. We'll keep the time penalties up so you know what you're looking at. But let's take a look and see where Wojtek is now. There you see Wojtek. He is in Sector 2, or approaching Sector 2 rather, and he just has to bring it home. No time penalties for Wojtek, no time penalties for Pasmoir Dussel, who is 3 seconds behind the Renault. However, there is a time penalty for Matty, 3 seconds as you can see. nitrogash trying to take advantage of that, trying to actually get by him it seems like, because as you said, Malc, he has one more warning left. So nitrogash is just going to have to play it safe, and he can come home with a podium here today. So we'll keep watching Wojtek as he rounds this corner here in the 2nd sector, approaching the 3rd sector now. Just a few more corners to go, and we can call him the winner of the Russian Grand Prix. But anything can happen here in F1. He's going to have to play these next corners so very carefully. We have seen it happen before. We've seen it happen the last time we were here, Malc. In the final corner, the driver leading the race actually wrecked, but he had such a gap that he was still able to limp the car across the line. But there will be no limping today for Wojtek as he rounds the final corner. He will cross the line and win the Russian Grand Prix. Pasmoir Dussel in his very first race in the Realist Performance League will finish in 2nd. nitrogash jumps Matty because of time penalties to finish 3rd.
Brilliant drive from Wojtek and Pasmoir Dussel. And also well done to nitrogash, who just put a lot of pressure on Matty. He would have been a bucket of sweat to try and not get that penalty in nitrogash, and he did absolutely well to get himself into the podium. Brilliant drive from him. Matty finishes in 4th, Harry in 5th, Ginger Tiger in 6th, Nightshade 7th, Stephen just misses out on 7th, he drops down to 8th. TL4 is in 9th, Roy Boy 10th. Maggot, Sab moves up to 10th after penalties, Roy Boy in 11th, Maggot 12th. Paul Racetech will finish off in 13th place, and also in 14th place will be Ronan as well. That was a brilliant race, to be fair. Do you agree?
That it was. It was not the action-packed race that we saw at Australia last week, but with the safety car coming out early on, it really kind of threw a spanner into the works and made these drivers really think about their strategy. So where it lacked in action, it made up for in differing strategies. And we saw Passement du Sel go how many laps? I believe probably around 25 laps, give or take, on those medium tires, which is
Correct.
amazing. Harry going, finishing in 5th, going about almost 30 laps. He went about 26 laps, I do believe, on those hard tires, which is a little bit more believable, but nonetheless an impressive feat. There you see Ronan finishing in 14th there. And driver of the day, Passement du Sel, I would agree with that, Malc. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. On his debut, get a podium in the McLaren? Yeah, I'll take that. I do agree with that. So Passement du Sel, fantastic drive from him. And I was, as we were saying, worried about the tyre wear near the end, but it was a brilliant drive from him, and we'll hopefully to see more of him in the podiums, as we can see. But well done to Wojtek, who got his maiden win at the Russian Grand Prix with Passement du Sel in second, and nitrogash, my teammate, in F3 in third place. Brilliant stuff. But Tim, you go.
And Malc, you can get those drivers into our chat. Here are your official race results for the Russian Grand Prix. Wojtek in first, Passement du Sel in second, nitrogash in third, Matty in fourth, fifth is Harry B, sixth is Ginger Tiger Nightshades in seventh, eighth is O Steven, ninth is TL44S Sab in 10th, 11th is Roy Boy, Maggot in 12th, Paul Racetech in 13th, Ronanosaurus in 14th, 15th is Bando Blizz, Moreno in 16th, 17th is Turok, Hulkenberger in 18th, and 19th is Gareth Hall. A lot of DNFs on the board today, unfortunately. That's not what the drivers want, but sometimes it's just what they have to deal with. We'll interview our top 3 finishers here in just a few moments once they decide to join us in the booth.
Absolutely. I'm just getting the guys into the commentators box, and should be able to hear their thoughts of the race itself. But if you have enjoyed the race, guys, and you want to see more of it, why don't you check out all the other leagues? Like for the F1 League, you got with Gareth and Sab for the PlayStation Leagues on Monday nights. You also got the F2 League with myself and nitrogash in Tuesday nights at 8 PM. We also got the PC Leagues on the Wednesday nights on 8 PM for F1 and F2 respectively, and we also got obviously myself, Tim, and for the PlayStation platform that you guys are watching, and also we got the Xbox League on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. So should be able to see those absolute brilliant races again. But yeah, please make sure you like subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races, and check out all the other social media sites of Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well, and also check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest updates. So before we should be able to start the questions, can you guys, if you are joining the chat, please make sure you allow voice to be shared. It's set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys are all set, ready to go, I think Tim will be starting off with the questions.
All right, so first things first, let's talk to our third place finisher of nitrogash. Nitro, we were saying in the stream that you are a bit of a quiet driver. You don't do a lot to bring attention to yourself, but you're always there at the end. Today, of course, was no exception. You were there at the end, you crossed the line in fourth, but because of time penalties, was able to jump Matty and get into third. At what point did it occur to you that Matty had a time penalty, and what was going through your head through those final few laps? Were you trying to get by him, or were you just wanting to stay close to him because you knew you would jump him?
I caught him and Harry up, I think it was around lap 22, 23, and I only had one warning at that point, and as I went past Harry, I picked up a second warning on lap 24. So for those last 3 laps, I just hung behind him. I was just staying in the DRS. I wasn't going to go for the move because I didn't want to outbrake myself and pick up a penalty and lose the podium, basically. So I thought I'll just sit there.
Well, this is going to help you tremendously in the point standings. Your first podium of the season. How are you feeling about your championship hopes now?
There's a lot of fast drivers in here. Obviously, you know, being an F3 driver and pace-wise, I do get quite good cars. I don't think I'd be able to win the championship. I'd like to be up there fighting. You know, it makes it more interesting if you are actually at the business end of the championship. I was just really surprised tonight. My qualifying lap, I don't know, I found 6-7 tenths from nowhere. I don't know where it came from. And then when I saw I was third, I was like, okay, and let's get off to a good start. And I didn't get a really good start, but I just thought I'd play the long game. So.
Well, you did a fantastic job today. Congratulations on your podium. That's nitrogash from Nitro Roy Racing. Now we'll...
Tim, before you go, can I just give a shout out to my mate John, who's basically... my wheel's been apart more times than a Formula 1 car this winter, and he's a legend. He sorted me out, so just thanks to him.
You know what? You always got to thank your friends, and it sounds like you got a good one there.
Cheers, Tim.
Yeah, thank you, Nitro. Now, talking to our debut driver here in the Performance League, Pasmois Ducel. So, we talked just a very brief bit before this race here, and it seems like you have a pretty good handle on Russia. Going into this race, did you think that you would walk away with a podium, or were you just going to try to see what you could get?
Well, first of all, yeah, last night I got to practice a bit with the F3 race. It was a bit of a disaster, but I saw what was the right strategy. I saw that I kind of copied Maggot's strategy from last night, where first lap safety car, I went on mediums instead of hards. Kind of a bold move, which got Wojciech to overtake me. But I'm pretty happy with second. Really happy with second on debut, actually.
Now, did you think that you were going to be able to stretch those tires as far as you did? Because I was questioning it. I saw that you pitted very early on, and theoretically you could make it to the end, but obviously you would have to save your tires. Was there any chance of a blowout there in the closing laps, or were you very confident that you were going to make it?
Well, I've done lots of practice races with people from the league, and I saw that usually I'm not good with tire wear, but on this track, I don't know, I seem to be able to handle tires and manage the tires well. So when I saw Maggot get the win last night from pitting on mediums on the first lap, I thought to myself, well, I could try it out and hopefully it works out for me.
Well, congratulations on your podium here in the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League. That's Pasmois Ducel from Hasaris Racing. Now we're going to talk to our winner of Wojciech from Bump and Run Racing. Wojciech, you and Moreno had such a magnificent battle early on, and it's a real shame that it could not continue throughout the rest of the race. You know, obviously, Moreno, he accidentally spun, hit the wall, and his race was done. But you pretty much dominated this race. Is it just Russia, or are you really thinking that you're fast this season, that you have a real good shot for the championship, because you had a podium last week and now you're on this top spot?
Hello guys, it's really good to be back. First of all, congrats to Nitro and Pasmois to the podium. It was really magnificent race. And I was hoping for some more battles with Moreno, to be honest. And I do feel bad for him, because I saw him spun and I was like, oh. On the one hand, I have, let's say, more clear road in front of me. On the other hand, I'm always happy when I get some battles, close battles with someone who is, let's say, on my level with the pace. And I had in F2 on Tuesday, I had really poor session. Malc probably will know. I had a lot of penalties and the pace wasn't good, so I tried to practice more, and mainly to do more laps. Let's say one after another, without penalties, and it turns out well today. Russia is not really it's in average, to be honest. It's not really my favorite. It's not favorite. So it's somewhere in average, but it's always. I'm trying to be cautious because it really catch you. The turns in Russia really catches you and make some penalties for you. So really difficult to manage it.
So we need to get this confirmed. But if my math is correct, you will be leading the points with this win going into next week. So how does that change your strategy for the rest of the season, if any? And just tell us a little bit about what your plans are for the rest of the season and how you're going to really contend for this title.
Well, like I said to Harry before the Russia, I will try to do battles for the first half of the grid. There is a lot of guys who are really fast, and this is really big surprise for me. To be honest, it's still too early, I believe, to judge because it's a lot of tracks in front of us. And I'm really happy about the results from the first few tracks, but I don't think I will change up the strategy. It's always the same. You always trying to win, but let's say personally, I rather give up the position than to go into some, let's say, aggressive battle. It's not really for me.
Well, congratulations on your win today, Wojtek. You did a fantastic job and pretty much dominated the whole show. So I'm sure that you feel happy with that. Malc, do you have any closing thoughts?
All I'm going to say to the top three guys is brilliant drive from you guys. Clearly, especially Wojtek, who's just carrying on from strength to strength from the podium, and then the win now tonight. Pasmar Dussel, well done to him on his debut, and then nitrogash, my teammate, I'm like, get in. He knew that was going to happen. He got into the top three, and that was a brilliant job from him as well. But overall, Russia has brought some unbelievable moments, shall we say? Some absolutely unbelievable moments, and hopefully Japan next week will be even more of overtakes galore.
Well, hopefully so. And with that, I think that's just about all we have time for. But until next time, have fun, goodbye, and as Malc said, next week is Japan. So until then, enjoy yourselves, and congratulations to all the podium finishers and every driver who raced with us. Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who watched the stream. Until next time, goodbye.